Gotcha.
Yeah, I see that.
I was gonna come around here, so I'm just gonna run the other side. Kel.
I thought there was somebody behind me.
I heard something. We watched. What did we watch? We watched The Doors last night, and all of a sudden I'm hearing Crystal shit. So what's going on?
Well, we put that video up of me practicing Maybe I'm Amazed the other day, yesterday.
Paul McCartney and Wings.
Yeah, because I was so inspired. I had never heard the song, but I downloaded it and I gave it a try, and I got trolled by someone who was really quite nasty and basically called me a liar, and that's his prerogative.
What were they accusing you of lying?
Accusing me of not having ever been to a conservatory, never having performed, never having been a teacher. And I just sent back a, basically you weren't there, you don't know, it's not your story, you don't know what you're talking about, but believe what you want. And he just took his position and said, well, I know what you are, which is not what you say you are, and that's fine. But then we went to bed last night and I woke up this morning at 4:17. And I came out here and I did a little bit of stretching because I couldn't sleep, because it was really bothering me, the viciousness, and no one's in a position to judge me or what was happening to me or where I was in my life or how young I was at that time. And I never said that I was a musical goddess. So I'm allowed to go back and learn and be different, and I'm allowed to make mistakes, and I'm allowed to learn all over again. So I sat down at this piano and I brought out this piece of music and I realized the flaw. I'm trying to play every single note perfectly the way I'm used to playing. And although it's not a difficult piece, and although this is not a difficult piece, I realized there was something on top that I have never seen, which are chords, because music is not written like that in the past. You don't get chords. You know the chords or you don't. And I realized that after about 20 minutes, I stopped actually reading the music. And I actually started following the chords because I know what the chords are. And then I realized that I am different now because of everything that I've been listening to, because of all of you, all of the input, because of Rich and how encouraging he is and how wonderful he is with me. I'm in a safe place with all of you where I can fuck up. It wasn't like that before. And I don't feel the music, I'm hearing the music, which is different. Right. And I may come to feel the music later. I think Rich needs a drum kit, because that would help. But this has changed now, and I can't go back. And so this is me just monkeying about. Before, I would memorize every single note and every expression mark and everything. I would have this entire thing memorized, and that's not what's happening. I have memorized the chord sequence, and I'm playing the chords. And in some ways, it's so much more freeing. Because if I know the chords, then I can make anything on the piano go inside the chords. And many of you who are musicians are going, well, duh. Well, of course. Why did you need to figure that out on your own? Why couldn't, of course you would. But improvisation was never taught, never encouraged. There was no jamming. I've always wanted to be able to just sit down at the piano and knock something off. And so I feel different today, and it's crazy, and I feel so much more free.
That sounded way different, which is one of the reasons why I came in here on a sneak attack.
Yesterday was more mechanical. I'm a mechanical pianist. I've done it before. I can't even do it now. The thought of even going back to that to make it perfect, I just can't. But I love classical music. Conservatories are very important places, and there are many wonderful musicians that have great careers, and it was a wonderful place for me at the time. I learned great skill, and now I want to metal it up, and I want to have a lot of fun, and I want to break out of what I was and become something else.
You shared with me, Kel, that some of the techniques that your teachers used at the conservatory, I mean, they were...
Oh yeah, they would, I had one teacher who would hit me on the hands.
With what?
With a ruler, with a wooden ruler.
Yeah.
And, you know, they'd come along, and if you were moving your shoulders, you were moving with the music, they'd push you down, and they'd pull your elbows in, and they would tape squash balls. I had squash balls taped to the inside of my hands and rulers taped to the back of my hands. And so you're taught to play like this so that they shape your hands. And if you made a mistake, they'd just whack you. And so, but that was also in the 1980s, so it was a long time ago. Piano teachers don't do that anymore.
No, but that's important for everyone to know where you've come from.
And it was a small town, and it was small town ideas, and it just was the way that it was in my world, and I thought that's the way every musician was. So it's blowing my mind.
So you're hearing it.
I'm hearing it.
I'm
hearing Jim Morrison sing.
Yeah.
And before there'd only be some pre-recorded something or other of Mozart or whatever. It doesn't even matter. And I know many of you want me to play some classical music, and it's just not in my heart. And it was for a long time, and it's not anymore. So I want to explore, and if that means I have to go back to freaking kindergarten musically, so be it. I'm totally okay with that. Just as an aside, I grew up my whole life being mathematically dyslexic. So my math grades were terrible, because I would always, if you said it to me that it was 15, I would write 51. Or I would read 51, but I would write down 15. So I could get the concepts, but all my answers were wrong. And that dyslexia actually disappeared about a month ago. Out of the blue, it just went away, and I noticed that I had stopped reversing my numbers, like credit card numbers or big, long tracking numbers. And I've been testing myself every day for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, you have math books. Just tell everybody what you got.
So,
I had nothing to do with this, by the way. This is all Kel.
So because I have always been told I'm so terrible at math, there's that idea in there. Oh, you can't do math. Oh, you're terrible at math. And that's been from I was a little girl.
I never saw a lot of this, everybody. So we would be working in the business, and I would read her numbers, and I would only see that, but she was never terrible with math. So I never saw that, and I certainly never told her that she was terrible.
But that had nothing to do. That was
past,
long ago.
In her past, so just so everybody's clear that.
Yeah, that was
I
nothing.
wasn't one of those people going,
to do with
you suck. Yeah.
So it was very, very hard on my brain because I can count. So, and I understand math, theoretically. I just couldn't make answers work. But I was doing some reading about a month ago, and I was reading some psychology websites that I tend to visit because I love psychology. And they were talking about dyslexia being a marker of child abuse. And I sat there and I thought about that. And I thought, wow.
And what's the explanation that you were given?
What I read.
Mm-hmm. Across lots of different sources.
Yeah, I went looking, and what I found was that it's one of the markers they look for, but it was missed.
But what do you think? What do they think is the reason for the actual numbers flipping?
It's just part of your anxiety. It's part of the stress mechanism. And so, anyways, the articles went on to say that it's possible to grow out of it when the trauma and the stress is long over with, and that it may stay with you for years and years and years. So what I did was I put on order the US math curriculum, and I'm starting math all over again because I can and because I want to. And it has nothing to do with anybody. And I'm smarter and older now, so I'm flying through those math books. And I'm okay to go back to grade 1 in kindergarten. I'm okay to go back to grade 1 in kindergarten and learn it all over again.
So here's a question.
Yeah.
Since you're hearing the music,
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot. Can you play the Crystal Ship with your eyes closed?
Oh, it's got to go way slower for that, I think. Maybe. Okay. Now I'm getting nervous. I need to think. Might be too soon. Nope, too soon. I will eventually. I think we've brutalized them enough.
Pretty cool though.
Well-
So did you think that you were going to be able to do that this morning? So you had your headphones on and you were just coming out here and 4:17 in the morning, and all of a sudden, did you think when you sat down yesterday that you'd ever be playing one of these songs that you just know in your head and not reading the music?
Never. I was executing the same pattern of behavior from 25 years ago, where I was viciously studying, trying to get it perfect, knowing that it's going to take hours and hours and days of practice to get every single note perfectly timed, perfect, everything, the expression, all of it, the run. And then this happened. And I just stopped reading altogether, and I just started following this, and I just started following what made sense musically.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
It's really nice to hear a piano being played in this house. I grew up with my brother playing piano, and what I just heard from inside was a totally different experience, and I wanted to come out and see what the heck was going on. So
Thanks.
again, Kel, thanks for letting us in. I know how personal of a story this is, and from someone that was really all about perfection. That you're about perfection and about the performance and about the standards that everybody had for you.
Oh my God.
How freeing does this feel on a scale of fuck to 10?
Well, it feels like it should have felt the first time. So it's amazing. It's a 10.
Fantastic.
So, you know, it's going to be messy when you guys watch me, and I don't give a shit. And for those of you that are saying, oh, she was never this, yeah, fuck you. You weren't there. You didn't live my story. You didn't live my traumas or my abuse. Who are you to judge? So if you're judging, unsubscribe and go take your judgment somewhere else, because there's enough of that hatred in the world, and I'm not going to have it. If I'm gonna play, I'm playing for me, and I don't give two rats' ass what anybody says.
Yeah,
No one can judge me.
Someone might ask, well, then why are we filming? And the answer is just because we've been asked by so many
Yeah.
to film and to show. So this is on Kel's terms, and you know, I'm pushing the envelope a little bit just by challenging you a little bit, because I think that's what people are going to want to see. They're going to want to see all your warts, and they're going to want to see the behind the scenes. And
Yeah. It's not.
thank you for doing that with us.
You're welcome. It's
You're
a
very
hard thing to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, I thought crying over Jared was tough. That's to be expected. You know, we lost somebody very special. Making mistakes in front of all of you when I want to do something amazing, that's a hard pill to swallow.
That's what the channel's about, right? That's what we're doing. We make mistakes, we just keep going, we apologize if we offended sensitive fans and those that idolize certain artists, and we don't want to blasphemize anything. But at the same time, human beings are imperfect, and that's what you can count on us being real, not fake, and with that comes with mistakes and comes with a little bit of rawness.
Thanks for saying that. And to that hater last night, if you're watching this, thank you. Thank you for pushing me into a place of being an imperfect human, and thanks for being the shit that you are, because you're partly responsible for this metamorphosism. So without your hard lesson, I would not have been able to get to this point. And it's gonna make all this other music so much more fun. I've been dreaming about being able to play, and now it's all gonna make more sense. That's why Pinky's right here.
We should have like a Haters Hall of Fame.
Well, he's definitely gonna go in the book, and he'll definitely go in the movie. Thank you all for your words of encouragement and all your text messages and your messages and your emails saying, oh my God, it's okay that you're not perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for just understanding. We'll see you soon.
We love you, Kel.
I love you, Rich.
Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.